I got to find out what is in these white tears. They do so well. We have to find the ingredients for white tears. They work so well.
Oh,
like
God.
White tears.
You got to call them what? You got to call them white tears, really?
Man, let me tell you, every time a white person cries, somebody's found not guilty. That was the worst. That was the worst acting I've seen since Stacey Dash. Are you crazy? That was horrible.
When you saw that video, was that your opinion? Like immediately you thought, well, they're going to let him off.
Of course, because let's be clear. The right doesn't believe that they believe COVID was a hoax, that Sandy Hook never happened, that the January 6th insurrection was tourist. They believe that, all these things are false, but they believe that performance was real. It really says a lot about the low standards you have to reach. We live in a nation right now where a man who knelt is vilified and a man who killed is glorified. It is insane.
How do you think that's going to play with the jury? I mean, they're watching it live in court.
Well, it's 12 white people in jury, 11 white people in jury, right?
Yeah.
Or women, men and women.
Yeah.
I think he looks like their son, their nephew, and their next door neighbor. I think that a white dude crying with a haircut is very sympathetic to any number of people. I think that he is clearly a martyr for the right. And I think that even when he first got arrested, the first thing the chief of police says is, if these people would have been home, this wouldn't happen. Now, if that doesn't have a jaundiced view of this perspective, we have clearly a group of people who believe that whatever you do for your cause is right. And I think that a lot of them sit on the bench and a lot of them sit in juries. They don't exist in a vacuum. They exist and they constantly do things that let you know that they're going to do whatever they can to tip the scales of justice. I think that our system is flawed. I think that you should never see a defendant. I think you should never know. All you need to know is because I think we're prejudiced and biased. And those things, and defense attorneys, to your point earlier, know to play on those things. They know what strengths to pull. And so if a crime is a crime, why do I need to see the person that did it to assess whether there's guilt or innocence?
People are presumed innocent, at least they're supposed to be,
but that's
in
the
a
whole
trial.
Point is
if they're presumed innocent, why would you treat them otherwise? Because when you see them, you're going to be biased.
It's not treating them otherwise. It's neutral. It's actually neutral. The fact is the jury system was set up to get certain results anyway. It was always prejudiced against people of color. It was always set up to be that way. Presumption of innocence is never how we've been treated. Ultimately, it is this. I think that there are not enough principled, powerful white dudes in positions to hang our judicial system on it. They're just not. There are not enough people who say, this is wrong, I'm going to do the right thing regardless. There are not enough of them. You can tell by what's happening with the insurrection here. You can tell by what happens in governance. You can tell there are not enough principled white dudes, powerful white dudes who are going, regardless of how this works out for me personally or my ideology, I'm going to do the right thing. And our system was always based on principled white guys doing the right thing. And you see more and more that is as absent as the idea of justice in America. It's crazy to me.